Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chocolate News Podcast. I'm your co-host, John Alexander Reese. No,
I'm
just
your
kidding.
co-host, Andrea Carter.
And if you did not know, the Cincinnati Herald has been around since 1955 and is the leading African American owned newspaper in the greater Cincinnati area and Northern Kentucky area. How's it going, Andrea?
Oh, it's going fine. It's well, I mean, if you think about today, it's February 14th. It's Valentine's Day. It is Ash Wednesday, so Lent has begun.
Hmm.
But I think more importantly, it's Valentine's Day. And
Indeed, it is.
so there are a lot of young men out there and old men who are trying to woo their ladies right now. And I think that's wonderful. I have nobody wooing me right now, but that's okay. It is what it is. But it's interesting. I came across a someone put together a playlist of the 20 classic love songs to be played for Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
And if you think about this playlist, which you can be found on YouTube, all of them are old school. All of them, they're not hip hop. And when you think about trying to woo, and men have a hard time wooing their lady just right to get them in the mood. And most men don't like to dance anyway, but you want that stone groove to end a certain way. This list is interesting. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. One is Sweet Love by Anita Baker.
I've heard
Uh, Fortunate by Maxwell. The all-time favorite, Let's Stay Together by Al Green, or I should say Reverend Al Green.
yeah, I've heard that.
Then there's Spend My Life With You. Oh, Eric Benet with Tamaya, which is, beautiful in itself. That was done before Eric Benet didn't have a career anymore.
Hmm.
Um, Forever Mine by the OJs. OJs are always smooth and groovy. Forever My Lady by Jodeci. Everybody from the 80s, 90s knows this song. Adore by Prince off the ever popular what is the name of that album? Oh shoot, I can't think of the name of it, but it's wonderful. He had a lot of songs off this album. It's been remastered. My by Johnny Gill, which also was another song that a lot of people would mimic. If This World Were Mine by Cheryl Lynn and Luther Vandross. Ooh, Luther. Mm. Now if you play Luther, you're in the groove. So, um,
So true. But I gotta be honest with you. I've heard of a couple of these songs, but some of them I just haven't heard of. Maybe that's just a generational thing or whatever,
it's
but I
it's
don't
it's
know.
it's a generational thing. It's an old school thing. Can't Get Over You by Maze and Frankie Beverly. Ribbon in the Sky by Stevie Wonder. Everybody knows Stevie.
Yeah, I heard that.
Distant Lover by Marvin Gaye. The Making of You by Curtis Mayfield. For the Love of You, parts 1 and 2 by the Isley Brothers. And an old favorite is Daydreaming by Aretha Franklin. It's off her Daydreaming album. Feel the
Okay.
Fire by Peeble Bryson. Now that's way back, like late 70s, early 80s. I was a kid then. That's the only reason why I knew that one. Always and Forever. Oh, Heat Wave. Ah, that
Yeah,
was
I've heard that.
If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle, one of her hit or misses. Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey. Everybody plays that
Yeah,
song.
yeah, I know that song.
It's Mariah. When
Hmm.
Somebody Loves You Back, Teddy Pendergrass. Now that is an old school favorite, Teddy Pendergrass. Anything that Teddy like Barry White, anything they sang, it worked because they got that nice bass voice that's like ooh. Anyway, that's it. But it's all this playlist is on YouTube. Just Google or just look up 20 classic love songs, and it will guarantee you at least. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, I haven't heard that before. But anyway, I'm sure there's more. But I thought it was an interesting play just to get us going for the chocolate news and just take a thing that out of all these 20 classic love songs, not one hip hop song, not one rap song.
Yeah, yeah,
And there are good rappers out there.
yeah,
They know how to jam. They got a great beat. They're really, really good. But when it comes to wooing the ladies, you ain't got it. No,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but Young men got to learn the old school works for a reason. They may not, girls may like, what is that? But in the end, it works. Trust me. If fellas learn how to woo properly, they would not have a girl problem. But then again,
Yeah, that
that's
that
another
that
issue.
that's fair. That's fair.
But anyway, we're coming off, even though today is Ash Wednesday and Valentine's Day, we're coming off a spectacular Super Bowl. Even my cousin is still posting because his favorite, the Chiefs, won. So, it's just unbelievable. And I think that what was your best part about the Super Bowl?
It's a good question. You know what? I would say I think the best part is the game actually went into overtime
Yes.
because I'm trying to remember, but I don't think what was I going to say? I haven't seen a Super Bowl game go into overtime in a while, maybe sometime before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that often, actually.
Mm-mm. It doesn't. And I think what was interesting is that they have the Kansas City and the 49ers held each other in check at least to the middle of the second quarter before anyone scored. And even then, when they scored, it was a field goal. And I think that they were very evenly matched, and everyone was frustrated with their defense and offense just a little bit, but they were evenly matched. The 49ers sort of controlled the game for the most part. And then the Chiefs came back and just said, you're not doing this one. And this is what happened. But I think also the commercials were fantastic.
Oh
Everyone's still
yeah.
talking about them, especially the one with Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. And I
Yeah.
just I just love that line when she said, "We talked about this." And Matt Damon tells Ben Affleck at the end of the commercial, "You remember when I said I'd do anything for you? This is anything." And it's embarrassing.
Mm.
But a fun fact, that tracksuit that Ben Affleck had on in the commercial,
Hmm.
Dunkin' Donuts was selling it. It is sold out.
I did not know
I didn't know it either until my sister told me. I was like, oh, someone actually is going to wear that? Oh my God. Anyway,
that.
but
But one more thing about the Super Bowl though, and I didn't see this until today. Apparently, it drew like 123 million viewers.
wow, really?
And yeah, and that's only second to do you know what's the what was the most viewed television program? You want to guess?
Oh, it's hard to say unless it's Roots.
No, it's not Roots. It's something that changed the course of human history.
Oh, I could. Ooh,
It was a big event. It didn't happen when I was born. It's happened during your lifetime. It wasn't during my lifetime.
oh.
You want to guess or do you want me to tell you?
Go ahead, tell me.
It was the moon landing.
Oh my God.
Second to the moon landing.
And I remember the moon landing because my
Yeah.
father showed. I was 4 when that occurred,
Yeah.
and it was a black and white TV. That much I do remember. I was young then. Ooh, very young.
Yeah.
But
Now,
my God, that's amazing.
yeah, I know, right? I think everyone was. Now, granted, the moon landing aired on different channels, but still, the fact that something went real close to the moon landing is spectacular.
That is spectacular. That is fantastic. That is unbelievable. I mean, not only there was so much drama, not just the game, within the game itself, there was drama. Everybody was hitting each other, everyone was fouling each other. Kelsey, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Kelvin Travis,
Yeah, Travis Kelsey. Yeah.
Travis Kelsey. I always reverse his name.
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey, when he had his dramatic moment, when he yelled at Andy Reid and he got benched for part of the game, I thought that was interesting. That was really dramatic. And then you have the commercials, but I think also the halftime show. A lot of people love the halftime show by Usher. Who knew that man could move like that?
Yeah, you know what? The halftime show, I thought it was it was okay. But it's like I liked it, but it was okay though. I don't know why. I guess I expected a little bit more. But what
Well,
for me, the best halftime show I've seen was the Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah,
Kendrick
that was
Lamar
good.
halftime
Oh yeah.
show. I think that was the best one I've seen in a long time.
I think that's what he's sort of trying to do, just a little bit of that, a music box of sorts, so to speak,
Yeah.
with his songs. I mean, Alicia Keys, even though she cracked on that first note, woo, she cracked on that first note. Um, but I mean, her came out and played.
Yeah,
You
she
had
was good.
Ludacris and CeeLo. You haven't seen CeeLo in a minute.
I know. I
So
haven't seen him in
CeeLo,
forever.
I was like, who is that guy in shorts? I was like, come on. But anyway, I mean, overall, it was good. And I think then on top of that, you had Patrick Mahomes makes historic win. It's the fourth. It is the third time that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl in 4 years. And on top of that, he made history as being a black quarterback winning a Super Bowl for a third time.
Wow.
So I think that that's fantastic. And I think one other thing, big thing that came out of the Super Bowl was the fact that Beyonce did a Verizon's commercial and announced that she has a new album coming out, and it's gonna be a country music album, Renaissance 2. There's actually there's a Renaissance 3 that has not been made yet, but this is Renaissance 2. So it's gonna be interesting to see how she does country music. And we'll have to do this another time, but we'll have to explore how many Black people are now country music singers, both independent and on a label. And it's a lot. It's more than I even thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my favorite is Darius Ruckers, but then again, I made that transition from Hootie to Blowfish to Darius. But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see what Beyonce does and how she does it with country music. So, that being said about that, hip hop icons lead the list of nominees for this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the list is impressive. It is so impressive.
Oh yeah.
It is unbelievable. I think it's just you have Eric B. and Rakim,
Yeah.
Timeless Decoration, Paid in Full, and A Tribe Called Quest, Mary J. Blige. What can you say? I mean, it's the list is just powerful. Also, you have in there Cher, Mariah Carey, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner. Oh my God, Foreigner. Peter Frampton, Jane's Addiction. I didn't think they would be eligible so soon, but Jane's Addiction, Cool in the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor. Oh, that's so sad that she's not alive to see this honor. Ozzy Osbourne, and my favorite, Sade. Woo!
Yeah, it's quite a list.
It's quite a list. It's going to be interesting to see who gets picked. It will be aired. The ceremony will be streamed live on Disney with exclusive airing on ABC later on in the season, and then available on Hulu as well. So I think it's going to be interesting to see it. But you know what? I can't wait for the concert.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be great.
Skip the ceremony. I want the concert. So especially if Sade performs, because she doesn't perform all that often. So
Yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
would be wonderful. So there's that. Then it's gonna be a little sadness. Unfortunately, what I didn't mention with the Super Bowl is that today was the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City. And somebody was fatally shot. 21 other people were injured because of someone fired a gun at the parade, which
Mm,
is sad. 3 suspects have been detained, according to the Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves. It is a tragedy because this is a fun time for Kansas City. It should not have to end with a tragedy. The shooting took place near what they call Union State, west of Union Station, and I guess they were sort of leaving. The parade was over, and they were leaving the celebration. They had over 1 million people along the route during the celebration, and then it turns tragic at the end. So I think that it's kind of sad what happened, but at the same time, that luckily it was at the tail end of the event. So people were leaving the area all, when the shooting occurred. So, that's the lucky part of this story. But I guess everyone keep up to date and watch to see the outcome and why these three people are involved in the shooting incident, the suspects in the shooting incident. I think it's just wrong.
It really is tragic. Something that's supposed to be like, so much celebration, but it turns tragic. It really is sad, and I hope, well, I don't want to say thoughts and prayers, but it's
Right.
um it, it's just another reason why we need, stricter gun control in this country, but that's going down a whole rabbit hole, so I won't get into that.
Oh, no, no, no. I understand. I mean, even here in Cincinnati, we had, sporadic areas of shooting. Like last night, there was a fatal shooting near Xavier University, right near a very popular brewery on Dana Avenue in Evanston. It was on the intersection of Dana and Idlewild, and one young man was killed, was fatally shot. Another one was taken to the hospital. There is an investigation still ongoing in this. At least the gun, even though gunfire is continuing, is not as much as it had been at the beginning of even 2023. So we're seeing a slight a slight lessening of gunfire in Cincinnati, but it's still happening. And I think young people need to find a different way to settle the issues than picking up a gun, because once you pick up that gun and shoot it, your life changes forever. Not only because you're shooting someone, but if you get caught, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of sad, but there's that. But the chocolate news has been exciting, different, but it is Black History Month. So I have a Black History Month moment per se. And as you know, if you go to Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, they have a park dedicated to Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
And in that park were 600 kids visit a year, play baseball, and learn about the history of Jackie Robinson and what he did to break the color barrier with the New York Yankees in baseball. They had a statue there for him.
Right.
Unfortunately, now on the news, that statue only has its feet left.
Oh no.
People came and stole the statue. They cut it off at its ankles,
Oh.
and they tried to melt down the statue.
Oh God.
And but the person has been arrested. He's been charged with felony theft. The statue is valued at $75,000. It was stolen from McAdams Park, the home of League 42, which is a youth baseball league. And it's unfortunate that they are saying that well, let's put like, they're not saying it's hate motivated, but they're not taking that off the table per se, but it's part of the part of the trend of looking into things like that. But they think it was more motivated because the statue is bronze, and the people thought they could steal the statue and try and melt it down so they could sell the bronze and make money.
Hmm.
And it takes more than trying to melt something. I mean, that's a lot of heat that you need to melt that bronze, because it was made into it was shaped into a statue.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad that
Just disrespect, man.
oh yes, it was much disrespect. But I'm very happy to say the person has been arrested, a suspect has been arrested, and now they're going to look at the replacing and or trying to fix the statue back. It is the bronze statue, I think, is covered in bronze, but it's also 95% copper. And they were trying to get to the copper in the statue, which is, or if you look at the markets right now, minerals, depending on what mineral you're looking at, is rising. So there's
Mm-hmm.
money to be made in gold and silver and bronze and steel, all that. So you just have to, it's not worth it. It really is not worth it at all.
Yeah. This is
But
that's really sad though.
it's kind of sad that a piece of history was damaged like this. But the good news out of this is that donations have poured in to fix it. And so far, they have raised $300,000.
Oh, that's great.
So hopefully, they're either going to fix it or they're going to have to find the original mold to cast it again. So I don't know what they're going to do, but at least they're getting the money to pull it together. And that is all the chocolate news I have today.
All right. Thank you, Andrea. And that's it for today's show. I want to thank Andrea again for all the good chocolate news. Thank you so much, Andrea.
You're welcome.
And remember, folks, you can find more information about today's topics and past podcast episodes at www.thecincinnatiherald.com, the Sesh newsletter, or on our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Threads. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Our podcast is on Apple, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Podcasts. And hopefully, everyone will have a good and safe Valentine's Day. I'm John Alexander Reese,
And I'm Andrea Carter.
and have a good day.